Hello everyone and welcome back to APWC. So this month, apart from all the shows and movies that I have already reviewed on this channel, I watched some other movies and shows as well and thought it would be unfair to not talk about them. So without wasting any time, let's begin.
Ready.
Taaza Khabar Season 2. I became a fan of BB in 2016 and seeing him experiment with content on this scale makes me root for this guy. Both Dhindora and Taaza Khabar Season 1 are such genuine attempts which showcase the brilliance of Bhuvan.
हराम और हलाल के बीच एक जगह है, गरीबी. मेरे को उधर से बाहर निकलने का है.
However, to be honest, मुझे ताज़ा खबर सीजन 2 उतनी अच्छी नहीं लगी.
कैसी बैकी बातें कर रहे हैं यार.
I think they should have stopped after season 1 because the last episode of season 1 was so poetic.
पूछा किसी ने नहीं पूछा.
Also, the storyline didn't feel as captivating as it was in season 1. एपिसोड के बीच में गाना कौन डालता है भाई? पूरा फोकस डाइवर्ट हो जाता है. Instead, background score should have been used.
जब कान लगी होती है बहुत गहरी बात कर देते हो महबूब.
Next, I watched Strange Darling. Quite an interesting premise which is presented in a non-linear fashion. Now, I am not a fan of non-linear storytelling, but Strange Darling is an exception. In such films, the suspense is based on the non-linearity and unconventionality, which was the case with a film like Maharaja as well. I don't want to spoil this film for y'all, but Roscoe from Reacher has surely come far. Maybe a little too far. Next, I watched The Killer's Game. Batista doing what he does best with respect to action. But this movie doesn't have anything new to offer. It is stacked with so many great action stars. Yet, it's hard to believe how they all came together and delivered this. My major grouse, however, is with Sofia Boutella, who almost carried Rebel Moon on her shoulders but didn't even get one action sequence in this film. Sad. Anyways, next I watched Alien Romulus. There are sequences in this film which actually made me question my biased approach towards sequels. Alien Romulus is an outlier when it comes to sequels, almost like an exception, because that's how good it is. Extremely well written and well made, keeping the predecessor in mind. In fact, Alien Romulus stays true to the original Alien flick released in 1979 and acts as a bridge between Alien and Aliens.
Oh, ऐसा है क्या?
How Prometheus gave us a glimpse of the engineer, the Alien gave us a glimpse of the xenomorph and the facehuggers. Similarly, Alien Romulus gives us a glimpse of the mutated human xenomorph hybrid. Comment down if you want me to make a detailed video on the entire Alien franchise. Next, I watched From Season 1 and 2. If you are not watching this show, then you are surely missing out on something great.
ये बड़ी अच्छी बात कही आप.
Well, it's not the best. Still, it's a show that will definitely keep you hooked with its unique and complex storyline with horror elements attached to it. It's like an amalgamation of Midnight Mass, Dark, and Lost. Oh, nope. That ain't right. Sorry.
इतना गलत कैसे हो सकता है भाई?
I'll surely make a detailed video once all episodes of Season 3 have been released. Next, I watched The Substance. In the first half, with ample nudity and jiggling of assets under the guise of Zumba, you will definitely like what you are seeing, especially if you are a man. The second half, however, becomes too damn scary that you genuinely get distracted from all that flamboyant display in the first half and get sucked into this war between Elizabeth and Sue. The ending was the most unpredictable in my opinion. It combines Beauty and the Beast into one single entity, if y'all know what I mean. Too gross and yet on some level enjoyable. Demi Moore's acting is worth mentioning because that's how good she is. Towards the end, she reminded me of Ellen's character from Requiem for a Dream. In fact, in some sense, the substance is Requiem for a Dream, but for cosmetic beauty.
तुम समझदार दिखते नहीं हो, लेकिन समझदार हो. आज से तुम हमारे साथ हो.
I think I might have developed a crush on Margaret Qualley, keeping the first half of the film in mind. Y'all might remember her as Pussycat from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Thank you for giving our precious pussy a ride home. We love pussy.
Yes, we do.
Next, I watched Mathu Vadalara 2. Babu and Yesu are back with an excellent suspense thriller whose first 40 minutes felt like torture. और ये problem part 1 के साथ भी थी. The first 30-40 minutes is essentially used for the plot setup, but it feels too lackluster and boring.
Don't book a judge by its cover.
But once you pass that threshold, your patience gets rewarded as the movie picks up pace and delivers both comedy and thrill.
Head and shoulders, sir.
आज shampoo का था?
Okay.
It's a must watch for anyone who's a fan of the comedy thriller genre. But do watch both the parts.
That'll be your end.
Madam, every hand has an happy ending. But this is not.
Next, I watched Transformers 1. Although I'm not a big fan of Transformers or animated films to be honest, still, Transformers 1 felt like a decent attempt at combining those two worlds that I abhor and make something delightful out of it. The origins of Optimus Prime and Megatron has been very well established, keeping their initial friendship in mind when they were Orion Pax and D16.
We could have built the future together.
I don't think so.
Is an interesting premise, and if you are a fan of Transformers, then do check it out.
We roll out.
Louder.
Transform and roll out!
Next, I watched Meiyazhagan. This movie genuinely made me cry.
इतना रोया इतना रोया इतना रोया इतना रोया कि मैं बयां नहीं कर सकता कि मेरे को क्या हो गया था.
Even though it's a feel-good film, it gives you a reality check that how the world is a beautiful place if you live freely, openly, and decide to forgive everyone and move past the bitterness. The relational dynamics between Arvind Swamy and Karthi is the best I have seen in years. How Meiyazhagan idealizes Arul Mori will surely bring tears in your eyes. Well, it's directed by C. Prem Kumar, who also directed 96. And the background score is given by Govind Vasanta, who gave the background score for 96 as well. So there was very little scope for anything to go wrong. It's a heartfelt recommendation from my end. Do watch this film. Next, I watched The Legend of Hanuman Season 5. Being an ardent devotee of Sri Ram and Hanuman, I was honestly disappointed to see very little presence of Sri Ram in this season. So much screen time to a character like Ahiravan feels like a ploy to increase runtime. It just feels like the show has been stretched too much. And season 5 felt like an interlude before the epic finale. I can understand the creative liberty behind this, but giving an entire season to finish off Ahiravan was a bit too much. Not a lot of people are familiar with this version of Ramayana, which includes the tale of Ahiravan. Many people are not even aware about Hanuman's son Makardhwaj. Kudos for the makers to include these characters, but taking 6 episodes and giving nothing substantial in the end is a bit disappointing, even from a mythological standpoint. The dialogues of this season felt so flat and almost had no impact. In fact, the dialogues of the previous seasons have been so impactful, and I have already spoken about season 3 and season 4 on this channel. The only good thing about this season was the depiction of the Panchmukhi Hanuman, which I enjoyed.
ये बड़ी अच्छी बात कही आप.
Next, I watched Joker, Folie, Deux. The only thing I have to say is, I don't know why Todd Phillips chose to make it into a musical. It was a constant diversion from the seriousness of the story, and it made the movie pretty unimpressive. This is Joker, not fucking West Side Story. It's an abomination with respect to the first part. I still remember the impact Joker had. The entire "you get what you fucking deserve" scene in the theatre was brilliant, as it showcased the final transformation of Arthur into Joker. From a storyline perspective, Joker 2 still has something substantial and connects well with its prequel, but somewhere the end just leaves you questioning, What the fuck? This is one of the classic cases where a sequel was not required. The cinematography is brilliant and I have no complaints about that. Although I must say, after watching Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, Gaga's Harleen felt like a downgrade. No offense to the Gaga fans. I feel if an alternate cut is released with a few extended scenes, barring the musical crap, then the film will genuinely have a greater impact.
So you don't think this is me? Well, maybe you don't know who I really was.
That's it for this video guys. I'll see you in the next one. और हाँ, अगर वीडियो अच्छा लगे तो सब्सक्राइब कर देना दोस्तों. मिलते हैं अगली बार. Till then, bye.